What happens when two dudes, one a retired Navy SEAL commander in Colorado Springs, and the other a hippie meditation teacher in New York City, get together to discuss living mindfully? That's a great question, because we don't know what will happen either. Raw, uncut, and unapologetic. Welcome to Men Talking Mindfulness with co-hosts John McCaskill and Will Schneider. Each week, we take an authentic dive into how mindfulness continually impacts our lives, deepens our relationships, and allows us to be emotionally alive. We filter all of our conversations through the man box, where we unpack how as men we are expected to act in society, how fighting the authentic human experience is exhausting and damaging, and how mindfulness can help. Now, on to the show.
Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Men Talking Mindfulness. Today, we have a very fun topic. We're going to talk about the fun of having, the importance of having fun and being playful. This is I think it's our 53rd episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. John, my brother from another mother right over there, our co-host of the show, Men Talking Mindfulness. John, good to see you. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling really good. I'm excited about this topic, and I'm excited about having some fun with it. And and you can see I've got a new addition. I've got some glasses here because my eyes are starting to fail me. I'm getting old, man. So I'm very excited about the topic, and you know, something that jumped right out at me when we talked about discussing this is Jack Nicholson in The Shining, right? And how he's sitting there typing something about all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, and he types it 1,000 times, and then he's obviously starting to lose his mind. And that movie is one of the first really scary movies that I watched when I was younger, and there's definitely some scary parts, and there's some funny parts in there, but you know, this not having fun, that is a serious thing. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about what not having fun can do, and why fun is important, and doesn't just make you a dull boy, but it is literally bad for your health and your overall wellness, and how having fun is good for your health and your overall wellness, and a whole lot of other topics here. So I'm very excited to get into the show and have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. I mean, it really fun and playfulness really has a massive effect on our brain, which we're going to talk about a little bit today and give you some references for that. So I'm excited for this. I love being playful, John. I always try to have a little bit of fun. And as I was, researching more of this topic, I can understand it's like, oh, wow, like how it's so important for creativity, how it's so important to, just really rewire the brain and stay nice and lucid and stay easy. And it's just a wonderful topic. So thanks for bringing this to us, John.
Yeah, man.
But I don't think we have any necessarily announcements today. What I will say out there for anybody that's ordered our t-shirts and hoodies, they are being printed and shipped as we speak. So it might take another week to get out there. So thanks again for supporting us and with our merch, our first merch sale, and we might have one later this year. So I guess that's our one announcement we have today.
We do have one. I didn't think about putting this in our show notes, but we have a new Patreon site. So if you're on Patreon, check us out, Men Talking Mindfulness on Patreon, and we'll put that link in the show notes. I would love to have you follow us there, because that's where we'll be putting out some very exclusive content, stuff that you won't find anywhere else. It won't be on YouTube. It won't be on our Facebook page, but that's exclusive to our Patreon listeners and subscribers. So we'd love to have you join us there too.
Yeah, and that's fun and that's exciting, John. And it's something new for us, and we are growing. Like the show is growing, and we're finding more ways to continue to reach more people. And you can do that by taking a little screenshot right now and say, hey, we love this show. Put it out there for everyone to see, because what we're trying to do here is just kind of raise the consciousness of mindfulness, raise the consciousness of how important, mindfulness is, how important it's fun and breathing and all the stuff that we talk about. And I think one thing that I'll say, John, for this show, it's like, I think it's interesting to watch the numbers. Like, we're both math guys and science guys, watch the numbers of some of these episodes that we have out there. And the one that is kind of isn't performing as well as others, and is the one on emotional awareness and support. And what we're talking about today in this topic with fun is supported by that. If we don't have that emotional awareness and rising our emotional literacy for ourselves and other people, and rising in emotional intelligence, we're never going to realize that it's like, why do I feel so stuck? Why do I feel like I'm just in this rat race? I'm not having any fun, right? When you begin to realize that, and as we talk deeper in this episode about fun, like things begin to change, right? So one place to start, and we're just kind of setting our foundation for the show for like years to come, is that emotional intelligence. So if you haven't checked that out yet, please do. I mean, because it's just loaded with great information to help you understand how sitting, being with yourself, being more contemplative, that self-reflection will help you increase that emotional literacy and emotional awareness, so you can see where you are and then maybe begin to determine where you need to go, what you need to do in order to get out of that, that state of depression or that rat race or whatever those feelings might be, and shift your experience into something that is more productive, that's going to create more happiness in your life, and just make you a better person overall. So
yeah, more fun.
Yeah, exactly. More fun, right? It's so
having fun makes you more fun.
Yeah, I think that's one of our secret sauce for the show, John, is having
That's
fun.
right. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It really is, because we
This is
laugh
so
a
much fun.
lot, right? It's the whole raw, uncut, unapologetic. It's kind of like fuck it kind of mentality. And we really care about what we're doing. I mean, for
Yeah.
sure, 100%.
Right.
But it's just like, it's that sense of play and the fun that we have in the show that I think keeps us, kind of part of that mortar of what keeps our relationship growing, John. And the creative aspect of the show too, which is all about being playful to find that next creative boom, like boom in the mind that helps us to take the show to another place.
Right.
All that said, John, I'll be doing a grounding practice today. Is that
that's right? And let's have some fun with it, man. Let's do it.
Okay, great, guys. You know what? All right, we're going to change it up a little bit. We want to have a little bit of fun. Could we just get off of our feet, if you like? And let's do this. We're going to do this. So let's get on our feet.
All right.
If we can, maybe tuck your earphones off, John. Right? And if you can't stand up and do this, that's perfectly fine. Right? We're going to start by just jumping up and down and kind of shaking a little bit, getting our body. Shake out your wrist. Right? Find some breaths. If you can't bounce, or if you can't like jump off your feet, maybe just kind of bounce through your hips here. That's it. Shake to the wrist. If you're in your car driving, right, maybe just kind of maybe do some raspberries with your lips. Yeah, let's do 4 more of those. Inhale. Yeah, raspberry it out. Nice, John. Couple more. Inhale. Keep shaking through the shoulders, rotating through the head, bouncing, maybe jumping off the floor. 2 more. Whoa, I'm having fun, John.
I didn't picture myself doing it. Never pictured myself doing this on LinkedIn.
Yeah, well, we are right now, John. Right, exhale, let it go. Good, guys. Awesome. Let's take that seat. Nice, and let's just work on some concentrated breath, pulling that fun energy into our body. All right, ground those feet on the floor. John's still laughing. I know, right, John?
That was so much fun.
In the moment, John. Spontaneity is
well
part
done.
of that secret
Well
sauce for, you're very welcome, for fun, right? But now we just ground that energy in. Like pull that energy of excitement that's kind of like a snow globe going everywhere. And we can ground it down into our soul, into our body, right through the breath. So let's start with a nice little exhale out the mouth. And you can have fun with that exhale, and then exasperated, like exhale. Very nice. Good. Take a nice smooth breath in. Exhale out the mouth again. That's a great way to release stress, is exhaling through the mouth. Another inhale through the nose. Feel those sinuses expanding in your brain, and feel the lungs expanding out. Exhale out. Good. One more into the nose. Out through the mouth. Let's slow it down more. We'll get into that nice. We'll do 6-6 breathing, right? For a few rounds, right? So exhale, exhale, exhale. Try to get empty, and then inhale through the nose. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale through the nose. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale. 6. Feel that big wave of breath from the bottom, middle to top. Exhale out. 6 slowly. 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, inhale. 6. Expanding like a big balloon in your torso. Exhaling that breath nice and easy away. See if you can melt some of that stress off your face, your jaw, your shoulders. And just take a moment here. Come back to a normal quality of breath through your nose. And let's just take a moment and remind yourself why you're here. Like, why do you come back to Men Talking Mindfulness? Take this last moment to thank yourself for showing up today and listening and being present and learning a little bit more about yourself and the world and how you can be a better person in the world. All right, one more big breath into the nose. And exhale out the mouth last time. Awesome. Good. Open your eyes when you're ready. Thanks for coming that little journey, that little fun journey, John. That was
Totally spontaneous. I love it, man. I was not
Yeah.
expecting that.
Yeah, good.
Well
I
done.
use that, I use that little shaking techniques. Great way. Just taking like 2 or 3 minutes, shaking it out, breathing, like bring your arms up or flip through your wrist and get really soft in your shoulders and your jaw. Great way after like a minute, 2 minutes to release some stress. So if you're feeling like really stressed, you want to bring more of that. We have this natural wiring for fun. We'll talk about what that wiring is, but that just helps us to get more into our body, let go of that stress, which inhibits, kind of blocks our playfulness and our fun. And here we are, John. Good to be here with you.
It is good to be here.
Where should we start, my brother?
So yeah, let's start with basically, I guess, what brought us to this topic, right?
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, we did a green room episode of this, and we had Teresa Larson, our partner from Movement RX and the Mindfulness and Movement Experience, on there, and she mentioned having fun with the meditations, right?
Yeah.
And the specifically the box breathing. Like, she takes some box breaths and makes the edges of these boxes longer and some of them shorter, and just plays with it and sees what works. But then that really got me thinking about, having fun with the meditations. That's great. Absolutely. But then also having fun just in our lives. And complete transparency. I was driving somewhere. I don't even remember. I think I was driving to Wichita, and I realized, I have fun on this show and I have fun with my kids. Like, I'll get home after a long day, just exhausted. And initially my kids will ask me, "Hey, Daddy," specifically my 4-year-old, "Hey, Daddy, will you play with me?" And there's a tinge in me like, "Oh, I just need 5-10 minutes to just decompress." But then I suck it up and I play with her, and I realize that is the decompressing, right? And I'm having fun with my children, and that's very important. It's important not just for the children; it's important for the adult as well. But then I also took that one step further, and I realized I'm not having any fun, or I'm not having as much fun as I used to outside of playing with my children. And I'm not having fun outside of our Men Talking Mindfulness show and a few other things that I do at work. I don't have fun. I guess basically what I'm trying to say is that I'm not having as much fun as I should. I'm not having as much fun as I need. And that's the key, is that we do need it. We need it to physically and emotionally feel right. But also what it does for us in so many other ways. And we're going to get pretty deep into that in the show here. But it helps us at work. It helps us in relationships. It helps us on our own, physically and emotionally. So I think that's what I wanted to jump in with right off the bat.
Yeah. Well, fun helps us to drop that, kind of take that guard down, kind of get away from, the form of things, right? And into the opportunities, that are before us, when that stress and rules and all that kind of stuff kind of get in our way. So we'll do a definition. I think it's a great way to start. We'll read some quotes, because they're out there, and I think they're very helpful. It's not just us talking about this topic of fun, but people have studied fun before. But here's a definition of fun: lighthearted pleasure enjoyment or amusement, boisterous joviality. Is that the way to pronounce it?
Jovialty.
Joviality. Sorry. Right. Or merrymaking and entertainment. Right. As a noun, it can be enjoyment, amusement, or lighthearted pleasure. As adjective, amusing, entertaining, or enjoyable. And as a verb, is to joke or to tease. And then a quote here is like, people rarely succeed unless they have fun in what they are doing. That's Dale Carnegie. We mentioned him in many different aspects in the show. Another one here by Hans Christian Andersen. I haven't quoted this guy in a long time. I haven't read his name in a long time. I was like, right, enjoy life. There is plenty of time to be dead.
Right.
And here's Katharine Hepburn. If you obey all the rules, right, you are missing all the fun. Okay, we'll talk about what that. And one more by Richard.
That one.
Yeah, right. And one more with Richard Branson. Fun is one of the most important and underrated ingredients in any successful adventure. If you're not having fun, then it's probably time to call it quits and try something else. So, and that's from that successful billionaire Richard Branson. He's going to the moon now. Going out in space.
SpaceX. Yeah, we've got him out. Well, I think his is Virgin Atlantic, right, or Virgin Galactic. But they have sent some folks up, I believe, just over the atmosphere, and I'm sure that's fun. Holy cow! We just watched the SpaceX launch earlier this week. Oh man, that just has made space fun again, right? I think at some point it kind of fell off. But it's getting back to be fun again. So
we'll do a little Men Talking Mindfulness goes to outer space. And I really want to experience, just imagine, just take everyone out there, take a moment and imagine what zero gravity would be like and how fun that would be without the limitation of gravity. Unbelievable.
And also, I mean, just the humbling experience that is. You look down on the earth and you see how big it is, and you realize that you are fairly insignificant in the grand scheme of things, just a speck. Right. But I think that's an important thing that would allow us to have fun. A lot of what gets in the way of fun is our ego. And we've talked about that with last week's topic in not asking for help, or not wanting to ask for help, or wanting to, but not being able to. That's even more important. But our ego gets in the way of us having fun, right? I know my ego, if I'm out on the dance floor, right? My ego prevents me from having a fun time on the dance floor.
Right.
When I let that ego go, and I'm just like, fuck it. I have so much more fun. And I come out of the evening or the daytime, whatever, having with a much better feeling of all of it. So I can't remember how I got on that tangent, but ego. Let go. Let go, man.
Right. Yeah. Let go. That liberation is a very, very key and part of playfulness and fun. And I'm going to read something. I got something here on Wikipedia, and one ingredient also is novelty. Right, doing new things. And it says it's been suggested that games, toys, and activities perceived as fun are often challenging in some way. When a person is challenged to think consciously, overcome challenge, and learn something new, they're more likely to enjoy the new experience and view it as fun. Right? Yeah. A change from routine activities appears to be at the core of this perception, since people spend much of a typical day engaged in activities that are routine and require limited conscious thinking. Right? So we're typically habitual beings. Like, we have our jobs, we have our responsibilities, and we're kind of sanctioned and, kind of like ball and chain kind of things. Oh, I got to go to work. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do that. Just even think of that word, like I have to. It's like begrudgingly pulling ourselves forward. But that novelty, from the literature, is super important. It allows our brain to expand, right? So instead of being confined with the same things, that doing the same things all the time, and expecting different results is the definition of insanity, according to Albert Einstein. But that novelty, doing new things, trying new things, right? But also having the courage to try new things, right? That's kind of brings us there in the first place. And then just dropping in and just trying, and kind of the hell what it looks like. And just like you said, like dancing, can be very ego, exercised in some ways. And that's why I think a lot of people, when they start dancing a little more freely when they're drinking, right?
Right.
Because like that liquid liberation, I've heard it,
Yeah.
helps
Liquid
to
courage.
just kind of, liquid courage. Just like, oh, the hell with it. I'm just going to go out and dance and have fun. And we always feel better.
Yeah.
I know after I dance, I always feel so much better.
Yeah. And funny enough, I mean, not to glamorize alcohol, but that's what's happening is a lot of the time alcohol releases your inhibitions, right? And that comes back to the ego. And that's where, if we could just let go more often, and I'm not saying, hey, use alcohol to let go, but if we could just let go of our ego, we're going to have more fun. If we have more fun, we're going to feel better physically, emotionally, spiritually, and we're going to bond to those that we're having fun with, which comes to, the importance of having fun in the workplace, right?
Yeah.
I know that there are workplaces that have so much fun, and because they're having fun, they're super productive, they're super creative, they feel a part of one another, they feel a part of the family, the team. And then there's other places that don't have fun, and those places, they may feel that they're being productive because they feel that having fun is a waste of time. If you're not, if you're having fun, you're wasting time. And in having fun, that a lot of the time bosses feel that we're going to pay people to have fun. Well, what that does is it opens up creativity. It opens up different trains of thought.
Right.
It opens up bonding between the team members. And so a lot of it, it's not intuitive to, hey, have a workplace and you want to have fun. But you look up the most successful cultures, most successful organizations. More likely than not, they're the ones that have fun in their workplace. People want to come to work because they're having fun. And I know I've got the Mark Twain saying here somewhere in here. I forget where I have it. Oh, here we go. At Mark Twain quote: "Find a job you enjoy doing, and you will never have to work a day in your life."
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
That
No,
right
it's great.
there. That makes me want to have more fun in the work that I do. And the work that I do now, I do have fun. Like what we're doing here, right? What we're doing with the mindfulness and movement experience. That is so much fun.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's work. When I'm doing some other things, I do feel like it's work. But when I'm having fun at work, I can go through a day and come back home fully charged and ready to go.
I say this one definition of work all the time. Like work is nothing more than serious play. I love that. Work is nothing more than serious play. And if you can find that kind of job for yourself, then you'll be working. And I guess the difference between work and play, right, in this paradigm is like, yes, I mean, there are goals, that we're trying to achieve and things we're trying to grow, and there's, quotas and stuff, but how you go about doing it, right, is going to help you drive more. It's going to create success, right? Or not, right? And if you are more playful, and we are and playfulness is going to also help us to get into more of that relaxed state of being, right? If we're like pushing, and not having any fun and feeling a lot of stress, like where are we, John? Right? We're in that sympathetic fight or flight mode, right? We're out of that, that amazing part of our brain, that executive function part of our brain that provides this cognitive flexibility, that keeps our working memory, bringing forth, the past with that cognitive flexibility, so we can really be effective at whatever we're doing in that time. But we're in that more relaxed state of being, and playfulness is going to help us bring more of these dopamine it brings into our body, more oxytocin in our body. So we're going to be more, we're going to have more of that creative ability, right? Because and find better ways to do things that we might have never thought was possible, especially within a group that, like, communitas, right? They call it in Greek,
right?
That collective mind, right? Which actually forms a third mind, right? That's Napoleon Hill, right? When two minds come together, a third mind is formed. But how are you collaborating in that space? And if you're having fun and being playful and kind of letting go of the ego, what it should look like or what it should feel like, or you're going to have much greater. I think as like a company, I think you have much greater success regardless of how the size of your company.
I mean, even as a company of one, you're going to get into that flow state more often, right? If you're having fun, and that's what I am. I'm a company of one, And when I have fun, I find that I get into that flow state. I'm more productive, more creative. It is definitely much better for the workplace. One of our watchers here, Stephanie, she said that she bought a slinky for her boss who had been too serious when he had a bad day, and that started a revolution in the company. Just having fun,
One little
thing made a huge change. So thanks for that comment, Stephanie. And I see some great other comments coming in. Love seeing that. Just want to also mention why fun is important. We talked about that a little bit, but I just want to talk about it a little bit more. Like we talk about, hey, play is important for kids. We talk about play is important for adults, but also the play between children and adults, how important that is. But so play allows us to learn how to be creative and helps us nurture critical thinking. Personality is developed and adaptive pathways are developed for us in childhood. The benefits of play are far-reaching, but we often give up play as adults for more serious pursuits, such as our careers, our relationships, and our families. Play for adults is critical in our stressful go lives. Play has been shown to release endorphins, improve brain functionality, and stimulates creativity, and it can even help us keep young. So it basically helps us with that neuroplasticity that we've spoken about on the show, because it helps with release and secretion of BDNF, the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which I know Teresa is a big fan of talking about. But that's the key to releasing the ability to remember stuff and learn new stuff. So that's some of the important parts of play, why it is so important. But then also what happens when we don't play, right?
Yeah.
We get stressed. We get cortisol. Cortisol is that stress hormone. We get, because we're stressed out, we eat poorly. And now because we're eating poorly, we're gaining weight. Now because we're gaining weight, we're not getting into the gym as often because we're more lethargic. So, I mean, we talk about the domino theory and doing one thing to set you in a positive way of thinking or a positive life. The reverse can be true. If you don't do positive things, one negative thing can lead to a whole negative chain reaction happening. Well, just having fun could be that first domino to helping you to feel better. And now because you're having fun, you are releasing less of the stress hormone cortisol. Now you're not going to feel as lethargic. You won't eat as poorly. So there's all sorts of negative aspects of not having fun. So I just wanted to touch on that.
No, I think you bring up a great point, because if we're not having fun and we're constantly, and a big part of fun is that liberation, that feeling that we have of just like, oh, I'm just like letting go. I mean, think of the words that we associate with having fun, right? We're letting go, we're free, we're like, just unencumbered. I hear people like when they talk about having fun and being playful, but the opposite side, we get rigid, right? Our body gets rigid, our mind gets rigid, and there's like that mind-body connection. So if we're all locked up and we're not going out for our walks or getting in a gym or going hiking and being in our body, right? We're probably going to be have a greater tendency to kind of, the brain's going to kind of like get locked up and see things in a very, myopic perspective, and just like, oh, well, I got to do this and I got to do that. And I got to do this again and do that again. Whereas if we're in our body, like dancing or moving, that little, like that shakeout that we did in the beginning of our show today, right? It's a great way to remind ourselves like, oh my God, like, and also get those neurotransmitters and that cocktail of hormones moving through your body. So like, I'm even just thinking about it, moving my body around here, and you guys can see me being ridiculous on the show. And when listening to the podcast, I'm just like being, foolishly kind of moving my body. I start to feel a little bit better because dopamine starts to come into my mind.
Yeah.
They've actually linked, John, and this is an article that I picked up in Psychology Today. It's called The Importance of Play, having fun must be taken seriously. Okay. Right. And they have here that recreational deprivation has been linked to criminality, obesity, and declining creativity. I mean, they actually go in this article about some shooting that happened, like, I forget, back in the day in like the early and mid 1900s. And they studied this particular person, after he shot up, like, he killed his parents and then went up to some college tower and like killed 17 people. And they were like, what the hell is really wrong with this guy? And they showed in his childhood that his father was very restrictive, didn't allow him to play. So therefore he never really developed that part of his brain and that part of his neurology to really allow him to kind of find that softness, get away from that rigidity so he can be more fluid and maybe more flowy with life. And another thing in that article I like here, it says, play is a banquet for the brain, a smorgasbord for the senses, providing nourishment for body and spirit. Sad then that as society, we seem to be starving ourselves of it. They go on to the article to say. So, this is like how you think of, ask yourself out there, anyone that's listening or watching right now, it's like, what are some small things that you can do, right? Or maybe things you've done in the past that you feel like are, like you haven't, maybe it's the things you did as a kid. I work with this one guy here in the city now, and he talks about just playing basketball. Just going out and doing like dusting off the shoes, duffing off the ball, maybe put some air in the ball, right? And get out there and, and just shooting some hoops, right? And just like having some fun in that way.
Yeah.
So what can you do to bring more play into your life? I think it's a very vital question because it's going to help you release that stress, be a better person, not just to yourself, right? But other people as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. And Greg Gaia here just commented, play is also a doorway to empathy. That's huge. Wow. Great comment there. Yeah. Love that. And that's where another place it comes into play in work, right? And I don't want to become the dull side of this the conversation.
I won't let that happen, Sean. Don't worry about it.
But it's important at work. And what does it do at work? It increases, we talked about it increases motivation, it increases creativity, increases productivity. We also talked about it bonding the team together, increasing collaboration, reducing stress, higher job satisfaction. But we didn't talk about ways to implement it at work, right?
Yeah.
So, I always think of Office Space when I talk about this kind of stuff.
What a great show.
When the boss stands up, he's like, "Don't forget this Thursday is like casual Thursday or Hawaiian shirt Thursday or whatever." And it's like so forced, and that's what we don't want to do at work, right? We don't want to force mandatory fun. Like whenever we used to have picnics or get-togethers in the military that were run by our company, if you will, quote unquote company, our platoon or our command. There were times that it felt mandatory, and that accomplishes the exact opposite of what we want. Now people feel stressed, like they feel they have to be at this event. They're like, okay, what am I going to wear to it? What am I going to bring to it? What am I going to do there? Who am I going to talk to? We don't want that. What we want is fun. And how can you, and I'd love to see, the watchers or listeners' comments here. How can you implement fun at work? But, some ways are those casual days, casual clothing days, competitions, or you talked about, dusting off the basketball and getting out there on the court, maybe having some type of little sports competition as a group, or participating in a challenge as a group, where maybe it's something that contributes towards charity. So you have a challenge and you have a goal that you're working towards and you're giving back as an organization. But the last thing we want to do is do mandatory fun. Fun at work, but fun at home, fun in your family, fun with everything that we do. That's what we want. It's going to help us to live happier and healthier.
I think one thing that's important in these certain, these work environments, or, say you're having like some sort of family gathering, you can be anybody that's out there. You can be that person that's willing to, be courageous and be the one that's ridiculous. Be the one that's like, literally like be the one that's just like, all right, hey, we're going to have fun. Like, let's stop, it could be, there's so many different ways that you can, one thing, that domino effect, one person, again, that tuning fork effect, right? That's just going to have fun, is going to remind everybody, because we're all neurologically wired to have fun. I mean, in the research that we were doing, look at the way that we interact, like you interact with your kids. I have like niece and nephew. I remember when they were younger, I was always wrestling with them. Look at the way like wolves and dogs and like the canines kind of play, like they're just, but even like their posturing, they talked about, lends the other participants, right, non-verbally, or like, they're not speaking obviously one another, but their body language lets each of the other participants or members of that particular collective or tribe or whatever you want to call it, or herd, let them know it's time to have fun. Right. And it's just like, again, one, takes it to two, takes it to three. And all of a sudden you have this amazing collective consciousness around fun and playfulness, because it just helps us to naturally raise our dopamine levels, which I think is really important. And that helps us to get, in the workplace, helps us to create more of that creativity, but also that, oxytocin, that bonding agent, right? That love and cuddle. Someone talked about, that, the empathy as well, because if we get to see each other just as human beings, we're all trying to get back and experience that love, connection, and belonging. And one way to really experience that is through fun and playfulness, for sure.
Yeah. Love, connection, and bonding, man. We talked about the dopamine, we talked about oxytocin, the endorphins, BDNF. I mean, that's what we talk about all the time on this show, is how to get those feel good hormones. Yeah. This is one. Hey, we should just rename the show Men Talking Fun. Men
Talking Fun, vulnerability, right, and compassion, right?
I think those are like our three topics always. They all kind of centered around that. But all the time. Fun helps with so much. And being mindful of your emotions, being aware of how you feel, that could also drive you. Okay, you know what? Like Will mentioned at the show, our episode a couple of episodes ago, emotional awareness and support. If you're aware of how you're feeling, then maybe you can say, you know what? I need some fun in my life. And if you aren't aware, and you realize, you know what? It's been a while since I've had some fun. Let me try it out. Just try it out. Go have some fun, try it out, and see how that makes you feel. Makes you feel. And if you're like, you know what, I'm too busy, do it anyway. Make some time and do it anyway. And see what that does to the busyness of your life and to the business of your life. I think it's going to help.
It will definitely help. I mean, it's because we're going to also, fun helps us to be more present. It's like that whole saying, time flies when we're having fun. Right. Since fun helps, here's another quote from Wikipedia. It says, since fun helps people to relax, fun is sometimes regarded as a social lubricant, important in adding to one's pleasure in life and helping to act as a buffer against stress. Right. And what is stress? Again, it locks us down, keeps us rigid. Keeps us in the same place, keeping in the same, patterns of thinking, the same patterns of doing things, because we're scared, right? Because we're stressed out, because we're in survival mode. Whereas like this helps us to downregulate our into our states of peace and all the things we've talked about a little bit earlier. And it's just really, really very, very important to have more fun.
Yeah. I mean, why do you think kids do it? Right?
Yeah.
Because it's a natural thing to do. And somewhere along the line, we turn that kind of fun button. Hey, we're like, you know what? Turn that off, because now it's time to be serious. Now it's time to adult, right? And we're out there earning a paycheck. We're out there setting goals, which there's nothing wrong with that. Setting goals, earning your paycheck, achieving things. That's great. More power to you. That's, I feel that has been a big part in driving me to be who I am. But I realize that the times that I haven't had fun or been having fun, I am more stressed. I mean, right now, this is the reason we're doing this show. Is a few weeks ago, I was feeling more stressed, and I realized I need to have more fun in my life. And I started, playing with my kids. I mean, just this morning, right? I got up early to see my kids before I headed off to work. and we just got two new kittens yesterday.
Sean, what are you doing?
I know,
you got
man.
A dog,
We got
3 kids, 2 kittens.
We got the whole farm: horses, chickens,
I
dog.
love it.
I mean, everything, right?
Yeah.
But we got these two new kittens, and the kids, they woke up like super early. They're like, I want to play with my kids. Oh, I'm sorry, I want to play with the kittens. I'm like, okay, why not? Let's go play with them. And we played with the kittens. And, I'm like playing with the kittens and my kids at the same time. And I was like, this is the way every day should start.
Yeah.
Is by having fun. And if I can start every day with having fun, I'm going to feel better about my day. I'm going to feel better, not just about that particular day, but I'm going to feel better about everything that I do. I see Lindsay here in our private chat. She says, I want pics. I'll send you guys some pics of the kittens later. But maybe,
just watching some cat videos.
Yeah.
Fun.
Right. That's why they're so successful on YouTube, right? Is kitten videos.
Gregory brings up a good point here. He goes, get 3 people together and fake laugh as hard as you can. You cannot not laugh when you do it. There is actually, John, and it's yoga. I guess there's laughter yoga out there.
Yep.
And I had a friend that I worked with a long time ago. I miss my boy Xander, if you're out there listening, just a shout out to he just being a great man and putting a lot of great work into the world. Like, we did laughter yoga workshops here in the city. Yeah. And, we would do particular, I mean, it was sometimes we had to, like loosen people up a little bit, of course, with the practice, just to kind of get them into their body a little bit more. But then we would do particular exercises that inquired, people to laugh, or bring them into laughter. And it's like, again, getting back to that communitas energy, everyone started laughing. And like, the more, one person laughed, it would just kind of bring up laughter in other parts of the room, and everyone was just having a good time. Yeah. And so, maybe that's a great place to start. And if you're not having enough fun in your life, it's like, it's going to take a little bit of courage. Step out of your comfort zone. When you step out of your comfort zone, right, and get into that space of novelty, right, is going to help you to access more fun. So maybe it's not like doing the same things you do typically all the time to have fun. What's something new you can do? What's some novelty you can bring into your life in order for that pursuit of fun? Yeah. And then, please, and it's like, I invite you, anybody out there that's continually interacts with us on our many different social feeds, like, post about that. This can be also, you can be the inspiration, that first, like, boom, and this initial tap of the tuning fork for other people, like, oh, I never thought of having fun that way. It's like, what, this guy's right. Just having a little bit of fun can really help me. Because it's like, it's the experience. It's not just the thinking about it, but it's the experience that really makes a big difference.
Right. Man, I'd love to get in this graphic that you sent.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Let's bring it up. All right.
So this is from. Yeah, go ahead, John.
No, you do it.
So this is a XY axis of so like the points are like the very bottom where the X and Y meet would be, I forget what quadrant this is called. I remember. So so the 4 corners are not having fun. Right. The top of the y-axis would be liberation, right? The far right, the very top and of like the far right would be having really fun. And the bottom would be hedonic engagement. So at the very bottom, where it seems to be very constrictive is the whole quadrant of not having fun. And in this quadrant, the typical characteristics are repetitive work, commuting in traffic, household chores. Look at the way I'm even speaking about them, right?
I know,
it's
right?
Like,
I'm getting bored just listening.
Yeah,
to
I know.
The
It's
list.
like, pay attention, John. Okay, right? Being quarantined, right? That's a big vacuum of play and fun during quarantine, right? Forced to do something unpleasant, right? Getting an MRI, which I think is a fun one, right?
Oh yeah.
And then if we slide across, that x-axis and like slide over to hedonic engagement. Hedonic means just like pleasurable engagement. This could be savoring a glass of wine, right? Getting a massage is very, has us, feel pleasurable. Eating gourmet food, listening to classic symphony. My voice has changed again, right? Happy shopping, right? At the top of the top left quadrant, right? And that's like the top of the liberation, which is another key ingredient into into having fun and being playful is liberation would be paying off a loan, right? Being released from jury duty, right? Right. Getting off from work, right? Receiving a reassuring medical diagnosis, right? It's like, oh, I'm free, cancer free, whatever.
Yes.
Right.
It's like having an appointment on, like, if you have back-to-back Zoom calls all day, and then somebody's like, oh, you know what? I can't make that Zoom call. No matter how much you were looking forward to it, when you get out of that, it's liberating. It is liberating. And you're like, oh, I get an extra hour back of my day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty awesome.
But that's just liberation, right?
That's just liberation. Yeah.
That's just liberation. Now, to get into really fun, right? This is the combination of the liberation and hedonic engagement, that pleasurable engagement. This is what happens. And this is like the quadrant of this rubric, or the cubic, I guess, that we want to be in. It's like going out with friends on a weekend, right? Date night out with without young kids, right? Oh God, right?
I need that.
Traveling to a new city or country. That taps into more of that novelty, and it's like, oh, tons of opportunities, learn new things, and have some more fun. And or partying after exams is another example. But I'm sure there's dozens of examples that our listeners could bring to themselves, as well as yourself, John. But that's where we want to be up into. We want to merge liberation, right? That freedom, like, oh, I'm out of work, right? With that pleasure of enjoying a glass of wine, and then, like, boom, marrying those two together, like liberation plus hedonic and pleasurable engagement equals really fun times, and getting into that fun and playfulness.
Right. We need that. We need more of that. I think we just need more of that in our lives. We need more of that in society as a whole. I think just as society, we've become too serious. We just need more fun. So, yeah. Wow. Well, man, I don't know how much else we could talk about. I don't want to stretch it out and make the whole show mandatory fun.
No.
How you
yeah,
feeling?
Exactly. No, I think this is great, John. I'll ask one more time. Like, what is something you can do? I would suggest at least on a weekly basis, and maybe for a longer period of time on a weekly basis, like a half hour, an hour of having fun, right? Just to remind yourself of that. We have that child within us, right? We haven't left that child. I mean, our child nature is still there, but to uncover the layers of our adulting, right, and our responsibilities of adulting and stuff like that. Right. How can we get back into being more of that child and just having, liberated and and pleasurable experience, which equals that playfulness and that fun. And what can you do? Maybe on a daily basis, just taking 15 minutes, and it could be like dancing to your favorite song before you go to work, or singing into the shower or something like that.
Singing in the shower. Second time I've been told today, hey, I need to start singing in the shower.
There you go. I must be picking up something here, John. I don't know.
I'm doing the Wim Hof cold showers. I don't know if I can sing in the cold shower.
Well, you know what? You begin to master the cold shower when you can sing, John. God. So that's the last thing I'll really say about this. It's like, this isn't don't just put this into your head, right, and into your ears and into your mind. Put this into practice, right, and then see what that does for you, and see how that begins to change your relationships, to your work, to yourself, to your to the people in your life as well, and how you are in the world.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, John. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you for bringing this to the show.
And I'm going to go after this, and we're going to do our recap ASAP and our regular things. But I'm also going to go and have some fun today, and this weekend I'm going to have some fun. And hopefully you, after listening to this show, know the importance of having fun, and you will, and our listeners, our viewers, are going to have some fun. So that's that. I'll wrap it up with our closing practice. And a lot of people drop off when we do the closing practice, hey, you know what? Stay on with us. Let's have some fun. But if you do drop off, hey, please share the show. Share it with anyone who you think needs to have fun, who you think needs to know about the importance of having fun. Share the show in general. And we'd love a review, or for you to join our Patreon site or our YouTube. Check us out on all the different social media platforms. We're out there. So thanks for being here with us. that said, I'll go ahead and get into the closing practice and let's have some freaking fun.
Yes.
All right. I don't know that I'm going to jump around because I've got these headphones on. And it's a little complicated, but
Okay.
but hey, you know what? We'll move around, and kind of shake it out.
Shake their wrists a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe.
shake the wrists. Move the shoulders and just look like a fool. Put that ego aside, and who cares what you look like? Who cares what anyone thinks? Right? Let's just have some fun. All right. So here we are, me and Will making complete idiots of ourselves on LinkedIn because who cares? Put the ego aside. All right. So now let's just have some fun with the breathing. All right. Get comfortable. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. And let's, just breathe however you want. And as you do so, put a fake smile on your face. Even if it's fake, that's going to make you feel different. Hey, I'm wearing a smile now. This one is real because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying being with you guys. I'm enjoying being here with Will and the audience. But if you're not enjoying what you're doing right now, put a fake smile on and see what that does for you mentally, emotionally. How does that change the way you feel? Keep that smile on your face and focus on your breathing. You don't have to do 3, 4, 5, do whatever feels right, but just focus on that smile and your breathing. How's that making you feel? Take a few deep breaths in, take them in through your nose, take them in through your mouth, whatever feels right, just have fun with it. Keep that smile, even if it is fake, all right? Try it out. It's hard to put a fake smile on for too long. Eventually, a fake smile turns into a real smile. See if you can carry those feelings forward. Imagine those feelings, even if it is, again, a fake smile. Imagine the feelings that fake smile is bringing to you. Imagine those feelings carrying on through the day. The fun, the joy, the oxytocin, the feeling of love that you're giving yourself, the dopamine, the feeling of accomplishment for being here with us on the show and meditating. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate this. Celebrate that smile. And let's wrap it up with one deep cleansing breath together. Deep in through your nose as long as you want, as long as you can. And let it out. Bring it back in, and that is that. All right,
thanks,
guys.
John.
Yeah, such a pleasure being here with you, Will. Such a great show. And for the audience, thanks again for being here with us. We really appreciate you. And now, go have some fun. Have some fun this weekend. Have some fun when you're listening to this after it's recorded. Go have some fun. We love you guys.
Good. Yeah, thanks. Turn that frown upside down.
There you go. There you go. Let's see if I can get this right this week. Last time I played the intro at the end. Hopefully I'm going to play the outro here. So here we go.
All good, brother. All good.
Thanks for joining Will and John on Men Talking Mindfulness. If you enjoyed the show, please like and share it with your friends and family. And please, we would appreciate a review too. Until next time, this has been Men Talking Mindfulness. Thanks for showing up.